Bill Snopper here. Summer's ending and it's time to make a clean sweep of inventory. It's the end of summer sales event at Franklin Sussex Auto Mall. Every new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram are clear the lot savings in the thousands.
Start the fall season in your choice of a new 2017 Jeep Compass or a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express, both just $189 a month.
And we can help you with credit. We'll get you approved and driving fast. Hurry to Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Jeep Celebration Event, Ram Power Days.
Welcome back to the Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Franklin Sussex Hyundai Sports Beat. It's now time to pick the games for week 4. Again, folks, because of the Jewish holidays, we have a bunch of games Thursday. So we're going to do the picks here on Wednesday and then get out to check out the games on Thursday. Check with your local school when you're playing, because there's some games Thursday, some games Friday afternoon, some games Friday night. And I believe the only game we got going on Saturday is Pope John going down to Seton Hall Prep. Also a game on Saturday, our second game, Sussex Tech's going to make that long ride down outside of Philadelphia. They're going to go play the Academy of the New Church. This is a team they've played the last several years. Sussex Tech comes in 0-3. They lost to Pascal Kills, 41-7. Bo Maroney had a touchdown in that. But, Sussex Tech looking to bounce back and get that first win behind Tyler Crum, Richie Hoffman, Dylan Beebe, Ryan Kincaid, Dylan Snyder, Shane Sammons. All those guys are going to need to come together to get that first win of the season for the Mustangs. The Academy of New Church, the Lions are 0-4. Devin Bryant's a very good wide receiver for them. And Jeb Benfleck is their quarterback. They're 0-4. They play other schools in that area. I think Sussex Tech maybe gets their first win. I'm going to go with the Mustangs. Get Brian Stellenworth that first win. They'll go down there and beat the Academy of the New Church. A big win for them. All right, game on Thursday night at 7. It's a division game, National White game, and it's Booton 1-3 at North Warren 1-2, 7 o'clock. We got to see the Bombers on tape. They beat Parsippany to win the old shoe, or the old boot down in a rivalry between Booton and Parsippany. Corey Dempster, electrifying running back for them, can do it all over the field. Vincenzo Ventricelli, between the tackles, tough guy, and a linebacker as well. Trey Cablar, he's their quarterback. His older brother Gage was their quarterback a couple years back. And got some nice players too. Jason Earl had a big day, and James Jacobson played very well for Booton. Brian Gallagher's done a nice job. They're the division champs. Their losses are to Pequannock and Wequahic. So, they're 1-2. I want to make that clear. Wequahic and Pequannock, two solid teams. North Warren 1-2 after winning on opening day against Wapakon. They lost to Butler, and then they lost to a good Hackettstown team last weekend. It's their small team. It's a lot of the same kids I mention every week because they got to go both ways. Danny Palmer, James Barton, Ryan Walsh, Ryan Durling, Joe Toribio, and Joe Wojtek. I think Booton's got a little bit too much, and the Bombers get the win. Our next game, Friday at 7, and it's Opakon going to Morris Catholic. Opakon's 0-3. They lost to Newton last week, 47-13. But they finished the game strong. You got to like that. Quarterback Danny Farina hit Tyler Dixon for a long touchdown. Mike Gascione came off the bench. He scored. They're going to need to get a solid ball control game from that Delaware wing tee with Armando Santiago, Anthony Mastrorenni have to do a job. Jason Kramer, the Kennedy brothers on the line. They're going to have to control the ball against Morris Catholic. Morris Catholic's 1-3. This is a crossover game. They're in the United Blue. They beat Marist last week, 48-14 for their first win. Darrell Sellers, the running back, was 6 for 105 with 3 touchdowns. The other running back, Diane Redding, 12 carries for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. Quarterback is Brian Keeger. This should be a very good game. If Opakon's fully healthy, I'm going to go with the Chiefs in an upset going down on the road against Morris Catholic to get that first win. So we're hoping that Mike Buschella gets that first victory. Good guy, good young coach. Our next game is going to be Thursday at 3. So as I said, games all over the calendar. It's 2-1 High Point going to 1-2 Montville, and that's a Patriot Red Division game. And High Point licking their wounds. They played a very, very good Mount Olive team who beat them 61-27. Normally when you score 27 points, and the 27 points they scored were not in garbage time. It was throughout the course of the game. They just couldn't stop Mount Olive. But they, last week they had a total of 336 yards of offense and lost. That's how good Mount Olive was. So High Point's going to be licking the wounds. They're going to look to go to 3-0 in the division. Mount Olive not in their division. They're 2-0. Jake Lazinski, 25 carries, 91 yards. He was also 5 of 7 passing for 58 yards. Chad Masilli, his normal 15 for 81, the plow horse. Jake Phillip had 96 yards. Davis Dvorak is getting part of that offense with that flex bone. Last year they lost to Montville. They beat Montville, I should say, 28-18. But the defense is going to have to step it up this week against that similar attack that's run by Rick DeBonta from Montville. Jake Lazinski in that defense, and guys like Matt Carter, Joey Burke, Storm Grouslick, Ryan McCarrick, they're all going to have to step up on defense as well, and the offensive line has to do their job. But I think they will. Montville 1-2. They lost to West Milford in a great game, 33-29. The West Milford came back to rally for that victory. Mike Burke, a do-it-all quarterback for Montville, 13 for 22 for 201 yards and 2 TDs. And then he also rushed for 22 yards and 22 carries, 153 yards. His favorite target is Anthony Manna. A solid team, but I think High Point goes down and gets back in the win column and picks up that victory. Our next game is West Milford. We just mentioned them, 1-2. They will go to Jefferson, 2-1, Patriot Red division game. West Milford with that big win. Tristan Bacalayan, 12 carries for 115 yards, 2 TDs. Zach Milko, their quarterback, 12 of 21, 230 yards. He did a nice job. Ryan Coyle did a good job at wide receiver, 4 catches. Daniel Domino had 6 catches for the Highlanders, who got their first win. Jefferson now won 2 in a row after that heartbreaker on opening night. They're 1-1 in the division. They beat Mendham 38-19. Andrew Benfatti's having a monster year. 5 catches for 124 yards, 2 TDs. Michael Fleming, 8 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. And then you got Paul Monaco, Brandon Hayes, Justin Ranzio. So many weapons for Coach Jerry Venerino. Quarterback Anthony Johnson having a great year. And then the kids on defense, Nick Miller, Matt D'Alessio, Randizzo on defense, Jason Boucher, Jefferson Felter. And then going back to offense, the kids that also can catch the ball. Joe Patelli having a good season, and Matt Capello contributed the other day. And our final game before we go to break, Kinnelon will go over to Kittatinny Friday at 3. So check that, Friday at 3. This is a crossover game. Kinnelon's 1-2. They beat Wallkill Valley on opening day. They're led by their quarterback, Joe Reimars. Good running back in Tim Elefante, who's very shifty, and then a tough two-way kid, fullback linebacker Calvin Kipner, and then Antoine Kasabi, another good player for the Colts. They're coming off a loss to Madison, 42-14. Kittatinny coming off a tough loss to Lakeland, 47-21. James Franco, though, had a good game, 7 of 13, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. And the main man was Jack Sikora in the receiving. He had 3 catches. And then you always have the Mafaro brothers are always a threat. And the kids on defense will have to step it up. Cal Brook being on defense, Justin Voss, Justin Montefiore, Derek Michaelman, Chris Laterio. I think the Cougars, and this is going to be a good one, I think the Cougars get the win because if the Mafaros are healthy, they're going to be too tough to stop, even though Kinnelon has 8 starters back on defense. So that'll be the first part of our picks, folks. We'll be back with the rest of the games for this week right after these messages.
Bill Snopper here. Summer's ending and it's time to make a clean sweep of inventory. It's the end of summer sales event at Franklin Sussex Auto Mall. Every new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram are clear the lot savings in the thousands.
Start the fall season in your choice of a new 2017 Jeep Compass or a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express, both just $189 a month.
And we can help you with credit. We'll get you approved and driving fast. Hurry to Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Jeep Celebration Event, Ram Power Days.
Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services, specializing in public entity risk management, loss control, and self-insured alternatives. Put your trust in Arthur J. Gallagher locally by contacting George Moorville, who served Sussex County schools and municipalities for over 40 years. Arthur J. Gallagher and George Moorville support Sussex County athletes and charities. Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services. Business without barriers. For more information, call George Moorville at 973-383-3110.
commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
You know you love pizza and Italian food. Dominic's Pizzeria and Italian Restaurant has got you covered from one end of the county to the other with 3 great locations. Dominic's, East Clinton Street in Newton, with a brand new dining room. Then there's Dominic's on Munsonhurst Road in Franklin. And the 3rd location is Chesco's, Route 94 South in Newton. All 3 locations offer simply great food. Dominic's in Newton, 383-9330. Dominic's in Franklin, 209-1007. And Chesco's, 383-2840.
Farmstead Golf and Country Club is the perfect place to host your event. Weddings, christenings, baby and bridal showers, and sports banquets. The staff at Farmstead will make your day a special one. The banquet facility overlooks their beautiful 27-hole golf course. Farmstead Golf and Country Club can also host your charity golf event. For more information on the Farmstead banquet facilities or to book your tee time, call 383-1666. Farmstead Golf and Country Club, located on Lawrence Road in Lafayette. Visit their website at farmsteadgolf.com. American Federal Mortgage knows shopping for a mortgage can be stressful. They have the lowest rates in the nation with their state-approved lock and loan form. American Federal Mortgage has great customer service to answer your questions and concerns. They will get you into the home of your dreams. For more information, call 888-321-HOUSE or go to njmortgage.com.
Pop, 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 money, money. Pop, 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 money, money, money.
Use your phone to pay your friends. You can even pay the rent. Out to dinner, pay your buddy. Use your phone to pop your money.
Lakeland Banks, pop money, money. Pop, 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 money, money, money.
Pay the sitter, send a gift. It's real easy, you get my drift? You don't need checks, you don't need cash. Use Pop Money, it's so fast.
Lakeland Bank's Pop Money, the easy way to pay people. Pop to it.
Pop, pop, pop.
Trax Deli is now reopened and under new ownership and is proud sponsors of all Vernon Township High School games of the week and highlights. Trax Deli has a great selection of homemade soups, salads, and chili, and great deli sandwiches, including their world-famous Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for daily specials, or call them at 973-764-2700. The Jenke and Mitchell families wish the Vikings all the best of luck. Trax Deli, your hometown deli, located on Vernon Crossing Road.
Party time or work time? Tri-State Rentals has the right tools and supplies for your next job or party, event, and wedding tents in many sizes, plus all the accessories you need to host that perfect party, including bounce houses, carnival games, and catering supplies. We also rent tools and equipment for any job, big or small, indoor or out. We rent, sell, and service Kubota tractors. Planning your next job or event just got easier. Visit Tri-State Rentals online at tristaterentals.com or visit our showroom, 105 Sparta Avenue, Newton.
Welcome back to the Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Franklin Sussex Hyundai Sports Beat. I'm your host, Dan Cleary. We're picking games for Week 4 in the Muggs Media area. We're closing in on the halfway point of the season, and it's 88 degrees out. It's crazy, I'll tell you, but I'll take this. I'd rather stand in the heat than sit there shivering on top of a press box somewhere, especially up at Vernon or High Point. All right. Go back to our picks. Lenape Valley bounced back with a tough 19-7 win over Wallkill after they lost to Newton. They're 2-1. They're going to go down to Mountain Lakes and play Darryl Fusco and the Herd. Mountain Lakes 3-0. Now, last year, Mountain Lakes struggled. They only won 2 games, went 2-8. They've now gone out and avenged losses from last year. 35-0 over Parsippany, 35-8 over Lincoln of Jersey City, and 26-15 over Hanover Park. You knew that was just a blip. Mountain Lakes is too good to go back-to-back years now playing good football, and Darryl Fusco is too good of a coach to let that happen. Quarterback Jack Baker can do it all for them. He's a great athlete. Matt Palazzi, Jake Marshall, Jake Schick, and Matt Barsaconis. These guys also, a lot of them play lacrosse as well for Tim Flynn. And Alex Ratchford. This is a good, solid Mountain Lakes team. They run the Delaware Wing T, just like Lenape Valley. Last year, Lenape Valley lumped them up. So they're going to be looking for revenge Thursday at 7 at Wilkins Field. Lenape Valley, J.C. Spada led the defense last week. It was a defensive effort. He had 3 sacks, 9 tackles. Ron Lucchese. And then also you got to look at guys like Marshall Kellenberger, Troy DuPont, Brandon Brady on defense, Andrew Cali, Rocco Bonavolanta, Cole Robertson. And Robertson got into the act offensively last week, 16 carries, 115 yards and a touchdown. Brady had 92 yards and Troy DuPont had 74 yards. And then those big guys on the line, Will Lawrence, Gabe Jimenez, Joe Seck, Taro Johnson, all getting the job done for Wallkill Valley. This is going to be a great game, for Lenape Valley. This is going to be a great game. I don't know, I just have a feeling because Mountain Lakes is home. I hate betting against Don Smolin. It's never a smart thing, and I've been burned before. But I just think Mountain Lakes is on a mission to really prove that last year was a fluke. And in a good one, I think the Herd get the win. Our next game, Whippany Park, undefeated under head coach Don Morganroth, will go to 0-3 Wallkill Valley. That's a crossover game. That's Friday at 2 at Wallkill. Friday at 2. Let's talk about the Wildcats. Last year, 6 wins, got into the States, and Don Morganroth's first year, he did a great job. He previously was at Monville, and he was also at Hanover Park. They're coming off a nice wins. 3-0 to start the season is good for them. They beat Lincoln 17-6, who's traditionally a very good team. Luke Papa had a big game last week, 22 carries, 180 yards, 181 yards. Matt Wong, a good player for them. Jake Crane, 10 for 83. And Nick Giraldi, Michael Roma, good players, Paul Padilla. And some of those names, you might recognize if you follow baseball. They were on that very good Whippany Park team that made the state finals in Group 2 last year in baseball. Good athletes, and they're moving in the right direction with the Wildcats. Wallkill Valley gave a great effort, talked to Bobby Leach about the game. He said his kids fought hard, just a little bit overmatched. They were without Dylan Harlow, so they're hoping to get Dylan back this week. But Alex Mastriani was terrific, and he's going to be a player, folks. 8 for 69 passing. He also rushed 8 times for 48 yards and scored the touchdown. You get Harlow's back. Justin Rivera, so talented and fast. Pete Mastriani, they're hoping to get back. Alex's older brother, who's a real good player. They got Jake Lonsky. And then the guys on the line are going to have to do the job on both sides, offense and defense. Brody McDonald, Ryan McGuire, guys like that are going to have to really step it up. And Evan Fainer had a pick last week. As much as I think Wallkill's improved, I think Whippany Park just is a little bit better, and they get the win. And also, some of the guys I also want to mention for Wallkill that have been playing well, kids like Cole Weekly, Zach Dora, and Ryan Nugent, all doing a nice job for the Rangers. Our next game is our game of the week. We want to thank Trax Deli for sponsoring that, located on Vernon Crossing Road in Vernon, as well as the Newton Pride Foundation. Go to newtonnjpride.org. Last year, this was a good game up at Vernon. Vernon was down 13-7, was driving, and Will Larson from Newton came up with a big stop on 4th down, and Newton escaped with the power points, which was big for Group 3. Same situation here. They will pick up Group 3 power points as they beat Vernon. Vernon banged up. Numbers are down. They had to suspend their JV program for the rest of the season, which is tough to hear. They lost to Sparta 38-0. The kids that did play and suited up, they played their hardest. Kevin Carpenter, the lineman, the outstanding lineman for Sparta, gave them a great compliment after the game. He goes, they were no pushovers on that defensive line. We had to earn everything we got. And that's a great compliment coming from another team. Dan Fedorko, our quarterback. Mike Stefkovich, tough kid. He had a bloody nose. They stuffed him up, got him back out there. That kid never misses a play. Jeremy Cahart, Matt Rapizzardi, Evan Janik, and Kevin Parisi, all tough kids. Newton's going to have too much for them. They're 3-0. They played without Chase Kramer last week. Well, Kramer, I think, might be a game time decision for Friday. We'll find that out. They beat Opakon 47-13. Luke Young really stepping up passing-wise, and that's going to be the key for Newton against Lakeland, against Hackettstown, and later on in the States. They were kind of one-dimensional last year, but Luke has done a great job at quarterback. 7-9 for 86 yards and a touchdown. And then Nick Brigante coming in, filling in for Kramer at fullback. He only had 2 carries, but he had 65 yards and a 51-yard touchdown. Then Will Larson having a great season, both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. 4 carries for 85 yards. And then you got Wyatt McCarthy, who had a touchdown. Julian Sibley's had a touchdown. And Nico Sebastiano, great catch. You saw the highlights on mugsmedia.com for a touchdown catch. Jaden Elliott, Dante North. And, that defense with Ryan Kaiser, Brigante, Larson, and Jonathan Van Ness. They're going to be a bit too much for the Vikings. They'll get the win, go to 4-0, and pick up Group 4 power points. Our next game, we will go down to lovely West Orange to see Seton Hall Prep will host Pope John. That should be a good game. Saturday at 1. That Vernon Newton game is at 7 o'clock on Friday. Just want to make sure. Pope John dominated Del Barton from the opening whistle when Jajir Charles fielded the opening kickoff, brought it into the Greenway territory. But Nico Haranish was terrific. He gives them that passing threat that they really didn't have last year, similar to Newton. You don't have to just try to stop Burrell Neal and Terrence Jones. Nico's throwing the ball very well. Taj Jones is a big play waiting to happen. And then you got guys that run great routes like Ryan Dengler, who caught 2 touchdowns. These guys are great receivers, got good hands. He puts the ball there. The offensive line stood up to the test last week with Murray and Jack Morelli in there, and Nicky Bello, Austin Peterson, Jack Ryan, tight end Jason Miller. Ronnie Fox gets in there and does some nice things as a fullback and a blocker. And Terrence Jones, he had his first 100-yard game of the season. He had a touchdown run. But you know what? The key for them is going to be defensively against the Seton Hall Prep team. Seton Hall Prep loves to throw the ball. Carmine Carty last week, they're 0-3, but they played St. Peter's Prep, 43-20 they lost. Don Bosco, 21-13 they lost. And they lost to Paramus Catholic, 33-30. All great teams. So Seton Hall Prep is not bad. Coach Campanile does a nice job with them. Carmine Carty, 25 of 44 for 197 yards and 3 TDs. His top guys he looks for are Kyle Monge, who is a running back receiver type. Jelani Mason, he had 10 catches for 92 yards. Andrew Perez as well. So Matt Colanatuno. Now last year when Pope John beat them, Seton Hall Prep was down to, I believe, their 4th-string quarterback. They started the 3rd string. He got hurt. So they were running out of the Wildcat and hung around with Pope John, a fully healthy Seton Hall Prep, spreading that field, throwing the ball. So it's going to be guys up front that are going to have to apply the pressure. We'll see if Ireland Burke comes back. I know he was under protocol. He did not play against Del Barton, the big kid on the defensive line. But Richie Peters stepped up last week. He was involved in a couple of sacks. Louis Montana, John Marquez, Nick DeCenzo. These guys have to step it up. When Murray gets in there, and then you got the great linebackers, Danucci, Grainhagen, Brown, and Haronica. And then the guys in the secondary are really going to have to do the job. Charles and Jordan Francois and Joey Quindodamo, who had 2 picks and returned 1. I think Pope John gets the win. It's going to be their toughest test of the season by far, but the Lions get the win. And our final game is Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Patriot Red, first place on the line. Morris Hills 3-0. We'll go to see Sparta. They got the portable lights up at Castles Field. They're 3-0 Sparta. We talk about Morris Hills. They absolutely destroyed Chatham, 59-0. They've come out of the box and played very well. They beat Morris Knowles. They beat Mendham as well. They graduated a lot of players from that state championship team. Coach Mike Sabo does a great job with them. Nick Carlotti, the quarterback, was 4 of 4 for 157 yards, 2 TDs throwing. You got Sam Valerio, Ray Almadar, Devin Caruso, Jeremy Bussell. This is a good Morris Hills team. Sparta, big win over Vernon, but it had a couple of tough losses. Jake Zarillo got hurt, and so did the Esposito kid. So we'll see if they're available. Frank Marciano was not too happy after the game. He doesn't think the prognosis is great, but we'll see if they play. That's a big loss because Zarillo's a 2-way terrific player. Broccoletti, again, 10 of 15 for 168, 3 touchdowns. Eric Castorina, continuing his role, he's going to have to step it up. But the thing is now, if Zarillo's not there, people will be really concentrating on him. 4 catches for 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the defense did a nice job. Ryan Richardson again, Jason Giordano, Robbie Gannat, Ben Davis, those guys, Candelaro, all doing the job. And then that offensive line is big and physical. John Grugoli, Tyler Lewis, Gannat, Kevin Carpenter, and Ben Davis all do a nice job with Thomas Ferraro. Even without Zarillo, I think Sparta gets the win and takes control of the division. But it should be a good one, exciting game. Under lights at Castles Field with the rented lights should be a big game for the Spartans. So there's a look at week 4, all of our picks. Again, the weather's going to be great. Get out there and catch the games. And we'll have more here on the Sports Beat right after these messages.
Bill Snopper here. Summer's ending and it's time to make a clean sweep of inventory. It's the end of summer sales event at Franklin Sussex Auto Mall. Every new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram are clear the lot savings in the thousands.
Start the fall season in your choice of a new 2017 Jeep Compass or a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Express, both just $189 a month.
And we can help you with credit. We'll get you approved and driving fast. Hurry to Franklin Sussex Auto Mall, Route 23 in Sussex.
Jeep Celebration Event Ram Power Days.